the other thing is that I had never done anything with consistency before. So I do a diet and then not see results after a period of time. And like as a woman, your menstrual cycle has a lot to do with how you lose weight. And so when you get to a period of the month when you're just before your period and you're not losing weight, you're like, oh, this is not working. So let's ditch that. And all the cravings are an all-time high then, course, right? So you're like, let's fuck that and eat chocolate instead because it's not working anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So I hadn't done anything with consistency. And I was super transparent with Carlos. Every time I felt like this isn't working, he would just be like, this is the hard bit, be patient and keep doing what you're doing. Like, don't falter. And that was it. So, okay, didn't falter. And I got through those like moments of uncertainty. And now I realize that actually those were the times when I would see big drops straight after. It's like, if I stayed consistent through those moments when I felt like giving in, that's when it paid off. It was crazy.
Yeah. It's almost like when there's a storm outside and it's really getting aggressive, there's something in our minds that go, it must be nearly done.
Yeah.
Like that's that. And you're in the depth of the storm.
Yeah.
It's transformation coaches generally, I don't know, my perception of them is a little bit of a con.
Okay.
Like, you know, I don't know. This guy, and you told me before, I get the vibe that he's amazing and he's done really good things with. But what was your perception when you were going in there? You're responsible for a lot of money, however it came to the table. It's a damn big chunk of change, and you're 40. You've been playing with this for a long time, you know, and you sit with this guy and you trust him implicitly.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about the way Carlos operates in that he is very humble and he's very quiet.
Okay.
Like, he's not loud and obnoxious, and it's just very calm and confident. And I think I fed off of that a little bit.
Yeah.
Where I was just like, all right, this doesn't need to be as difficult, or, you know, just follow the instructions.
Yeah.
For like the first time, actually follow all the instructions and consistently do it. I think, you know, the thing is, I think a lot of people think transformation coaches might be a con because they're not telling you anything hugely different to what you probably already know if you're a fairly aware human being.
Yeah.
You know, you can get a lot of this information on Instagram or wherever, right?
All
Podcasts. But it's just about dumbing it down, doing what you need to do for a period of time. And if somebody's alongside you, kind of settling you down when you're the most panicky about things, that's what they're that's what you're paying them for, essentially.
I think that calmness brings the trust as well, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's some people want lots of noise, but I think the people that generally want lots of noise probably need the noise to distract them. Mm-hmm. Whereas in moments like this, you actually, I mean, I know with my coaching, sometimes when I have a client that's quite fired up, I talk a lot, right? But when I have a client that's quite fired up, I'll say less and maybe push them away for a day or 2 days and it comes to what really I think is the crux of this. It's actually,
it's in you.
It's in us.
Yeah.
And I say it to people, like, I can sit around this table with a client or with a member of staff, and I can get you fired up to run through a brick wall. But that brick wall is going to be there on Monday morning. Yeah. And are you still going to want to?
Yeah, you've got to want it.
You've got to want it, and that's where that's where it's interesting, because there's so many different bits and pieces at play here.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, okay, you've got last straw, you've got your brother, you've got a big chunk of change on the line, but then you've got a guy sat across the table who you immediately connect with.
Yeah.
Which is...
Yeah. And I think the other thing is that, I spend a lot of time hearing, I listen to a lot of podcasts about health. I listen to Huberman, I listen to Joe Rogan. like all of the traditional stuff that you will get on Instagram. And for like once I was not trying to implement anything that I was hearing from all of these, which is often contrary. So like one person be saying something, the other person saying the exact opposite. Both of them are saying it with conviction. So you're like, I don't know who to believe.
So true.
So you tend to get super confused, especially if you're interested in this area. And so for once I was like, I'm not gonna try to do 100 different things. I'm just gonna stick to one protocol.
Right.